is up, man? What's going on, College Football Live?
What up? What up, everybody? My name is Eddie. Of course, we got Obed. Fortunately, Orlando cannot make it this time just because he's really busy with school right now. He got clinicals and stuff.
Short-handed, so we produced it on our own.
Yeah, we got to do this on our own. But we will be back fully next week. Sorry for not putting an episode for the last 2 weeks. It's just that we've been busy with work, or we've been busy with school and clinicals and all these different things. So thank you for being patient. But we are back.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to give it a little break too, so we could get a good accumulation of recruiting. Let that shit finish out. Now we're back, about to analyze a little bit, talk a lot of shit, and just a little update.
Yeah, man. So a lot of stuff has happened in the last 2 weeks. First of all, we're going to talk about is the Super Bowl. Let's crank it up on the Super Bowl. What do you think about the Super Bowl, man?
Well, this is my first time in the Super Bowl working. And I think I picked the best Super Bowl to ever work because I heard that shit was mad boring. I kind of like watched some highlights that were like trash.
There was no highlights.
Yeah, there was no highlights really. Definitely the best commercial that I did see was the 100 year anniversary or some bullshit for NFL.
That was a fire commercial.
That shit was fire. My favorite part was Ed Reed looking like a crazy ass doctor with the fro and the white streak and just bopping whoever the hell was running. That was definitely cool. The whole commercial was from the beginning to end was really good. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I decided to work, make some money instead of watch that shit.
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a Super Bowl. I watched the whole game. Really, the most impressive thing was just the last drive where Tom Brady had that 67-yard drive and they punched it in for a touchdown. But other than that, nothing really else happened.
Bro, that shit was trash though. I haven't seen Todd Gurley in 3 games. Jared Goff played like shit. Sean McVay, like, where was the creativity at?
Yeah,
I don't know. I was very confused as who the LA Rams was, and it's kind of like ball don't lie. I think the Saints should have been in there, and I guess that shit showed itself. I'm not saying the Saints would have won, but come on, bro, 3 points.
Yeah, and they had the number 1 offense the whole year, so it's kind of
disappointing.
Wow. Very disappointing. Yeah, Todd Gurley says his knee's okay, but it's not okay. Like you said, Todd, what was his name? McVay.
Sean McVay.
He didn't do anything. Like, he was just running in the middle, and then running some boo-boo pass play that always got hit. And Goff, the whole game, he was in the ground.
Yeah. So Ed, is Tom Brady your GOAT?
Yeah.
Tom Brady is definitely the GOAT for this generation, in my opinion. It's kind of related to basketball at this point. Like, I just think there's generational GOATs because, Joe Montana went 4 for 4. And Joe Montana, from what people who've played with him and people who have seen Tom Brady play, etc. One, the game's totally different. I don't think a lot of people would have survived in that era of football where it was really try to kill each other. So I think that's a big difference. That's why I think there's got to be generational GOATs. But Tom Brady has 6 rings. But let's be honest, pretty much Tom Brady's done well in pretty much every Super Bowl, even the one he's lost. So to me, the thing is, like, defense wins championships, and there's nothing you can say but Bill Belichick produces the best defenses, like, playoff time probably ever. Like, they literally held the Rams to 3 points. They held the Falcons scoreless on that 28-3 comeback or whatever the hell it was. So I think, Tom Brady's great. I think he's had a great pieces around him. But I'm just going to stick with, Tom Brady's a GOAT. Definitely the GOAT of my generation, this generation he's in. And I'm just going to stick with Joe Montana's the GOAT of his generation, just like Michael Jordan's the GOAT of his generation and LeBron James the GOAT of this generation. I think that's just the best way to compare it because times have changed and, we can't say that they do the same thing and give the person's position, So definitely this time around, Tom Brady scored a touchdown, but, like, even if he didn't score the touchdown, they would have won 6-3. You know what I'm saying? So
he didn't even score the touchdown.
Yeah, he didn't even throw a touchdown. So the reality is, Tom Brady was there, but, like, same thing with Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl. Like, it was all about that Broncos defense, just like it was all about this New England defense. Excuse me. So again, Tom Brady did get the first downs. Like, of course, I'm not saying that he was bad in the game, but at the same time, he didn't make any game-changing plays. He had Julian Edelman ball out for him. Like,
we also had one interception and 2 fumbles in the game, so he didn't have that great of a game either. It's just that, like Bill Belichick I think he's the GOAT coach ever. I mean, he knows everything about football. Everything that McVay threw at him, he already was like 2 steps ahead of him. It was crazy. Goff was always in the ground. And what else happened? That O-line for the Patriots, which everybody was scared of because they let everybody go. There was like 2 tackles they let go. They went and traded in the offseason, traded during the season, and now they held up that defense really good. Aaron Donald really, he had tackles, but he didn't have a very...
He was non-existent.
Yeah, he was
in terms of making plays himself, pretty much the whole playoffs. It was everybody else, Sue and Fowler and stuff. But yeah.
It was a boring game to watch, but...
glad I didn't spend money to go to that shit either. Probably the worst $3,000 anyone ever spent.
If you're a Patriots fan, you got 6 rings now. But to me, it's crazy that one coach and one quarterback has literally gotten that franchise 6 rings. Every other franchise is like, okay, we get you 1 or 2, or they have 6 as different coaches and different players. But literally, the Patriots were 9-6 20 years ago, and now they're tied with the Steelers with 6 Super Bowls. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I still fucking hate the Patriots just because of the fugazi shit that happens. So,
yeah.
I mean, Deflategate, the spine with the cameras and shit. Like, I don't know. That's just weird shit. And like, I don't think that shit gets away in any other sport. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Like, I just don't understand how you're not. Like, if that was to happen in any other sport, there'll be some type of suspension where no matter how you do in the regular season, like, you're not going to the playoffs.
Or even in college football, they'll definitely get caught.
Oh, that's a death penalty in college football.
Yeah, so it's...
MLB, you ain't making shit in the MLB. If that was to happen at MLB, your whole, like, reputation is gone. But for some reason, Tom Brady is able to maintain that image. But whatever, he can...
Good for him, man. Whatever. He's finessing the system.
Keep those 6 rings. Keep kissing dudes. You live your best life, Tom. All right, now let's take this shit to college football because I'm done talking about NFL because that shit has been trash. Worst probably professional sport right now in terms of parity when it comes down to it. So, well, NBA is there too because of LeBron James and the Warriors. But regardless, I still think the NBA runs shit way better. I fuck with their commissioner, Roger Goodell's a cuck. So let's move it on to college football because I don't want to keep talking about that shit.
Alrighty. Well, let's see. We had National Signing Day yesterday, and it was... To me, National Signing Day has kind of lost its importance just because everybody signs an early signing day now. And so, like, yesterday was kind of dead. It was not like your typical National Signing Day where everybody's announcing everything. I mean, there was a couple big names, but everyone was taking early signing day. So I don't know how I feel about the early signing day. Maybe we should just move it to then, the National Signing Day, just because everybody wants to sign then. And it also allows players to be enrolled in the spring if they're able to, and which makes them, be able to practice with the team, get the workouts in, and learn the system. So maybe we should move it up, but that's just my opinion. I don't really know. But it was a kind of slow day. Big names though, such as, let's see. Alabama out here keep grabbing everybody. They got Antonio Alfano, which is a 5-star DN. They got him last week. He finally signed today. And then yesterday they signed, what's his name? Ishmael Chauffeur, 5-star D tackle out of Louisiana. I mean, it's just Alabama being Alabama.
I mean, then Georgia at the number 2 spot was able to steal George Pickens, which was absolutely crazy,
absolutely insane. And that's again, look, it's not that I don't like. It's not because I hate Georgia, because I do, but there's something going on in Georgia. There's no way. George Pickens was committed to Auburn for over a year. I think it was a year and a half. In the last second, you flip to Georgia. I need to know how much he paid him. I just need to know. I need to know how much he got paid. Because there's no way. And even Auburn players were like, yeah, definitely we got outbid.
which is throwing themselves under the bus too, because they're getting
Exactly.
paid. But whatever, dumbass shit. Hey, but quick overview though. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 SEC teams in the top 15. I think that's pretty impressive. The one that stands out to me most, well, obviously it's crazy. What's crazy about all the SEC teams is got a cool story to all of them. Obviously, Alabama has probably the best recruiting class, like maybe of all time.
I think that's what they said yesterday. They had
It was
the best.
something like ridiculous: 3 5-stars, 23 4-stars, and like 20 something in the top 300. So that's crazy. Like we just said, George Pickens flipping to Georgia. Georgia had number one player overall. Some great defensive players. Obviously, one of the better receivers that they got. Texas A&M, of course, we already knew that Jimbo could recruit, so that's great. LSU, Ed Orgeron staying strong, was able to get some pretty strong defensive linemen, and the SEC battle the trenches, so that's a great pickup. Florida, no 5-stars, but very, very strong recruiting class in terms of defense. Probably one of the better linebacking cores that we've seen in total, linebacker/DNs, and great defensive back core. Was able to get Kyer Elam last minute. That was awesome the way he trolled Georgia. So it's pretty great because they took our defensive back coach, paid him almost $1 million to $800,000, and still weren't able to close on Kyer Elam. So that's pretty lit. Now these next two, to round out the last two in the top 15 for SEC, was Auburn, which finished very, very strong. Was able to pull Mark Anthony Richards, pretty well-renowned athlete. Top 100 player. So, that was great for them. They were able to sneak up in the top 15. Had 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars. And now the most surprising, though, is Tennessee finishing at 12. 2 5-stars, some great offensive linemen. Again, SEC in the trenches. 11 4-stars. I think Tennessee did an awesome job for how pretty bad they've been doing.
Horrible year.
Yeah, horrible year. So, kudos to Tennessee and their coach for pulling that shit off. That was pretty impressive. Obviously, some more notable ones. Oregon again, top 10, had Thibodeau. Pretty good people here and there, been able to steal from California. And then Texas, number 3, had a good season. We'll see how far that takes them. Oklahoma in there as well, Michigan in there. Clemson finishing 10th, but it don't really matter. They'll be fine. We've seen what they do regardless of what they get.
It's Clemson.
Now, probably the best thing in the state of Florida. Florida State missing out on 2 quarterbacks, Reese Plumlee and Lance Lejeune, I believe is how you pronounce it. Lejeune, something like that. So somehow Loxley was able to get Lejeune over there to Maryland. And Reese Plumlee, for some reason, decided to stick with Ole Miss.
He flipped. He was committed
from
to Georgia.
Yeah, but it was always between Ole Miss and Florida State. And so very surprising because Ole Miss had 2 early enrollee quarterbacks already. And
they already had Matt Corral last year, who was going to start this year. And he still went there. So, I don't know. So,
they're looking at a very, very in-depth
rough
quarterback position. But Reese Plumlee is also a two-star athlete. He plays baseball too. Ole Miss is top 15 program in baseball as well. So, that probably has something to do with it. Florida State also has a good program, but for some reason, Whiffy Taggart just can't do the shit, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Ed?
I said it. When they first hired Taggart, I said it. This is not going to be a good hire just because, first of all, he has a losing record. And everybody was like, well, he has a losing record. Look at the teams that he had. He had Western Kentucky, and he also had USF. But when you really think about it, Western Kentucky, he still had a losing record. He went to Tampa, to USF, and the only reason why he did good is because we found Quentin Flowers. He's the one that saved his butt. And then he was okay. He was able to recruit a little bit. Went to Oregon, had like a 7-5 season, and now went to Florida State. Since day one at Florida State, it's been a disaster. He was able to close with the 11th ranked class last year, I believe. But no quarterback then. A whole 12 months later, still no quarterback again.
And, we've seen SEC or ACC fans Pretty much all they got right now is Clemson and was Florida State. And Florida State fans in general have been, upset with a lot of commentators just because they haven't been commentating anything good because there has nothing good happening. And it wasn't until pretty much signing day where they realized, like, this shit's for real. We don't got shit going for us.
Yeah. Literally.
So I think it's, awesome. They got a couple good linebackers because they fucking needed it. And they got some good defensive backs. No doubt they've been have that, but what's the point of having 30 defensive backs when you don't have a quarterback? Offense. You have no offense. We can't forget about Jerry Francois. Kicks off the team.
Big news.
So right now they're on have one eligible quarterback on the roster, at Justin Blackman, and then they got the 3-star transfer from Louisville, 2-10 Louisville. And as of right now, he's not eligible, so it doesn't really matter. Travis.
So really, they just got Blackman.
And there's talks of
getting a grad transfer, Josh Jackson.
Yeah, but Travis J as in...
Oh, my God.
Playing, both ways at quarterback and a lot of Wildcat with Cam Akers. The most disappointing thing is about Willie Taggart right now is that he looks like he's just been defeated. He had a little press conference afterwards, and he said that they have a plan intact, and he doesn't particularly want to talk about it right now. So when the hell are you going to talk about it, Willie? Like, you must not have a plan, because if you can't talk about it, I just think Florida State's in shambles right now. And everywhere else in Florida is loving it.
I mean, at least, yeah. And at least Miami's able to... Look, Miami closed with a horrible class. They were 28th ranked. But they're at least attracting people in the transfer portal.
Yeah, they
Florida
did that.
State not even doing that.
They did attract a couple people in the transfer portal.
And they're still trying to
and they were able to flip a great defensive back from Alabama.
Christian Williams, 4-star DB.
4-star DB to Miami, which is a strong close. Again, I think unfair and where Manny Diaz came in the recruiting process, for him to, give him this recruiting class. I think it was a little bit unfair for him. He came in a shit position at the shit time. But regardless, he's not making any excuses. He made a couple of decisions. His butt off. Yeah. So right now it looks like Florida's in the driver's seat in the state of Florida, probably followed by UCF, probably followed by Miami. Mm-hmm. So Florida State is just, I think right now, it's crazy to say this. First game of the season, we already know Florida's about to give Miami 40 burger. We're about to whoop that ass. Hey, Miami fans already know that. They're just hoping they can score some points, right? So Florida State's looking at their first week against Boise State in Jacksonville, neutral site. Really should be a home game. Florida State's in Florida, and if they lose that game, I think Florida State will be on literal fire. Unless they pull something out their ass and somehow magically get some fucking amazing quarterback from the portal, which was a hidden talent that nobody knew about. I think that if they go into that Boise State game and lose, things are about to get crazy in Tally.
You think they fire Willie?
Hell no, because no one's about to pocket that $21 million and pay his ass. I mean, Willie's chilling. Willie's playing like trash and still getting paid. So like he's performing like trash, still getting paid. He's living his best life right now. Honestly, like he knows regardless if he gets fired, he's gonna get $21 million. If I knew that about any job I had, guess what? Shit, I'm signing that deal ASAP.
Facts. Yeah, man. I mean, to keep it a little bit optimistic about FSU, I think personally that they should go get Josh Jackson. He's a quarterback, I believe, out of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, but he was just hurt.
Yeah, but if he's healthy, he plays pretty decent. Or they could go get the guy from Buffalo. I'm not sure. No, I think he entered the NFL and everyone. But he was pretty decent as well. But no, they have to go get depth. Because if you kill Blackman, say one Boise State linebacker puts that man on his neck, they have no depth. What they're going to use, a DB? And after that, they have nobody.
They got Travis J as an emergency option.
But he's not... Travis J. He's a DB.
Yeah.
Because the other quarterback...
Yeah, he can't play. Not Travis, yet. Yeah, Jordan Travis. Yeah, he can't play yet. But Travis J, supposedly, can play both ways. Obviously, he's a DB, not a fucking quarterback. No one even considered him as a quarterback until this point. DB. So, but obviously, he's athletic enough to play the position. But with college, is a totally different game than high school. So, and he played 1A. So it's like, he probably wasn't seeing the best competition. He was probably mostly running the ball. So, I hope it gets to Travis J to be quarterback. Because that's just going to be Florida State, legitimately, going into the season, to be honest, I thought Florida State would definitely get a full game. But now where Florida State stands, it's very possible that they don't go to another bowl game just because they don't have another quarterback. And I think James Blackman will be straight, but I mean, if he gets hurt,
that's
what I'm scared of. Like if he gets hurt, like if he could play the whole season with no backup, then he'll be fine.
He's a decent quarterback. I think he's decent, and he fits that offense better than Francois did.
And the ACC in general is just trash, so they should be able to win most of their games anyways.
Facts.
In my opinion.
Other than Clemson and maybe Miami.
Yeah, they might lose to Miami 3 years in a row.
Hey, that's a big one for Miami. They've been in the slums for a long time. So
hey, but if you're in Tallahassee and you listen to our podcast, go ahead and put on your helmet and just go to the tryouts, man. You probably make the team. You know they need some bodies out there, at quarterback. Shit.
I'm a Gator fan and I might go out there.
Get your 5 minutes of fame. Just fucking go try that shit out.
Yeah, man. So this is their schedule. This is Florida State's schedule. They have Boise State first. Then they got LA Monroe. They'll probably beat them pretty nicely. Then they play Virginia at Virginia. Wasn't Virginia the team that they went to the ACC championship last year?
No.
It was Clemson versus Virginia.
No, it was Clemson versus Pittsburgh.
Never mind. Virginia. Then they go to Louisville. Probably a W. No. Then Louisville comes. So that's a W. Louisville's trash. NC State's gonna mollywop them. And then they play Clemson, Wake Forest, who can beat teams whenever they want to. Syracuse is a tough team. It's coached by that coach up there. And then they play Miami, Boston College, Alabama State, and Florida. How many wins do you see there? I see 3 or 4.
It could easily be 3 or 4, and it could easily be 7 or 8.
Yeah, easily if they turn it up. That's the thing.
Not too concerned. I just know we're about to put 40 on their ass again in the swamp, baby.
In the swamp. It's about time, man. It's about time. So let's see. Another news. So other than recruiting, another news that happened last week was Missouri getting caught with 12 players getting their homeworks and tests done by their academic advisor. Now Missouri is banned from bowl in 2019-2020 season.
Oh, that could be a good spot for Kelly Bryant if he's able to go into the portal. Kelly Bryant could come to Florida State.
Yeah, but he wants to stay there.
No, well, kudos to Kelly Bryant. He didn't want to come to that mess anyways.
Yeah, he announced that he wanted to stay there. He said that it doesn't matter if they go, He said that he wants to take the team 12-0, and even they can't make it a bowl game. What he wants to show is that he's able to lead a team, and not only that he's able to play in the NFL. But he's sticking with Missouri. So that makes Missouri a little bit dangerous as well. But other than that, it's just been big recruiting news. We have good news for Florida. We were able to flip Chris Bogle, 4-star DN / outside linebacker from Alabama. He was, when he first decided to go, he picked between Miami, Alabama, and Florida. We were still close up there, but he picked Alabama just because he wanted to go up there. Then he visited Florida for the official visit. And everybody inside our coaches and everybody like that said that Chris Bogle was very excited about Florida and that maybe he could, it was a very high possibility that we would get him. We went ahead and got him, which I'm very excited about. We signed about 6 linebackers and they all look really good. We signed Tyron Hopper, Josiah Pierre, DeJuan Black. Finally was able to sign this NLI. I'm so excited about that. We got Bogle, Somerall, and who else am I missing?
Mohamed Diabate.
And Mohamed Diabate, who was bopping people in the game, All-American Army game. So we signed Florida definitely signed a very elite class of linebackers. I think it's one of the most elites in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, they're all very high-end linebackers, and if you watch their game tapes as well when they were playing in the bowl games, they looked like they could play in the next level. They just need to put on some weight. The one Black finally was able to sign his NLI. He wasn't able to play. He was originally a 5-star. The only reason why he dropped was because he was not able to play his whole senior year, and because of an injury. Then he couldn't sign his early signing day, so he can enroll early because of his grades. He fixed his grades, finally signed his NLI, and he's here, thank God.
Which is good, and sees the flip side of that. Good commitment on his part. We see someone like Charles Moore wasn't able to get his grades right, and ended up having to go JUCO, which is he was a big time D tackle prospect. So it's kind of crazy to think of that.
So apparently, from the last thing that I saw about Charles Moore is the fact that he might not have the grades. That's why he sent his NLI to the junior college, but he also sent it to Auburn because if he qualifies, he goes to Auburn. If he doesn't, he has the option as well. That's the last thing that I saw about him. I haven't really checked on him lately, but I mean that's crazy because I mean he was about to go choose. He could have chosen Florida, and if you can't choose Auburn, then you couldn't have gotten into Florida either. So it's kind of I don't know. Another huge story is Nick Cross.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up actually. Yeah, that's the one that sticks to me. That's just really weird situation. Honestly, I stick with his parents on this one, not just because I'm a Florida fan, but if I was anyone's parent and my child wanted to go to Florida State the way it is now, I'd tell them hell no, you're not gonna win shit there.
Right.
So. And to be so far away from home, we got to remember he's from Maryland, guys. If he's from Florida, I think it'd be a totally different story. He's from Maryland to come to a program that's in shambles.
Right.
And if we're being honest, you never know. Probably in 1 to 2 years, Willie Taggart's out of there if he don't flip it around. And going through another whole coaching staff and all that mess, that's not the best for your career.
And it's not only that. I feel like if Florida State was... So what they're looking at is distance and academics. If they were at least top 10 in one of those, then, if they were really good in academics, I feel like his parents would allow him to go there. But they're not, and that's simply the fact. I mean, I'm not lying about it. They're not that great in academics. It's a far distance for them.
They're good, but they're not great.
They're not top 10.
Yeah, correct. Florida is. So one of the crazy things is, like, being in the state of Florida, you never hear kids, well, at least I've never heard anybody say they're waiting for their Florida State admissions letter.
You say
everyone
Florida.
Say they're waiting for their Florida admissions letter, and based upon that is they'll say if they're waiting on their Florida State one, if they haven't already got it, because usually they get it beforehand. So just a little... academics wise here in the state of Florida, that's how it is. Florida's definitely number one choice for anybody, really.
So yeah, I mean, what I need is Mullen to call this man up and be like, look, we have one more position, one more spot for you. Call him up, and I feel like just because academically we're ahead of Florida State, that he could come. But I mean, it's the right thing, And people are mad at, why won't you let your kids do their own decisions and everything like that? And it's because you're a parent. If you care about your kids, you should care about their future. And if, say he goes to Florida State, he doesn't get his academic, he doesn't get a diploma, he doesn't pan out in football, then what do you got going for his life? So that's the type of thing. It's like not Chris. It's like, what's his name? Khair Elam said, this is not a 4-year decision. This is a 40-year decision. And that's why he chose Florida. It's the same thing with Nick Cross. I hopefully he gets to decide soon. And whatever school it is, they're going to get a really great player. But it's good to see it's good to see parents out there that actually care about their kids and care about the decisions for the future.
Right. Yeah. Even if some might think that they're not giving his autonomy for him to make his own decisions, but I got to stick with his parents on this one just because of the shape that Florida State's in. Had Florida State been able to get any quarterback at least, not to mention their third, option, second option, third option, whatever, I could have been for it, but they're just looking so bad right now, and like it looks like they're just so desperate to get anything they can right now. So I think Nick Cross probably is going to end up at Penn State, if not Maryland with Loxley. And I don't know. We'll see what holds for him. I think he waited too long. I don't know if he wanted to go to Florida. I don't know why he waited so long to bring that up. When
he waited till the bowl game week, which was like 2 weeks? No, bowl game week was about a month ago.
Yeah.
But still, that's when we were already figuring out who we wanted.
We were trying to get Chris Bogle at this point, like a week after.
Chris Bogle. We were trying to close on Charles Moore. We were trying to close on Khair Elam. So we didn't get we got 2 out of the 4 that we wanted, which means technically we could get him in. But at this point, you chose Florida State for a reason. Don't come. That's what basically what Mullen said. Like, don't come flipping now. But I don't know, man. But other than that, shoots. So what we're gonna do is give a little break. So
here's a message from our sponsor.
Alrighty, and we're back. So now, let's see. Let's talk about a little bit about next season. What are your expectations? Not just for Florida. That's it. For Florida right now, what do you think they should do?
They gotta win the East.
Gotta win the East. That's going across Georgia.
So basically, just win in Jacksonville this year. I think if you win in Jacksonville, you win the East.
You don't have any sleepers in the East?
Nah, man. Not with what we just loaded up with. Nope. Hell no.
Sheesh.
Kentucky ain't do shit.
Not
Tennessee
Kentucky.
not gonna do shit.
Missouri could.
No, they're not. I don't see Missouri doing it.
What was the recruiting class? Missouri recruiting class. Wow, not even top 40. There were 36.
So, like I said, we just gotta beat Georgia.
Just beat Georgia. I think we just beat Georgia. We could be in there. Now the West is the one that's we don't know. I mean, it is Alabama right now, but right behind them is Texas A&M, and right behind Texas A&M is LSU in recruiting.
And we don't know, man, because that was Jimbo's first year. Orgeron's what, second year or year and a half?
Yeah, it was second year coaching, straight up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be interesting. You never know if Gus Malzahn pull some bullshit out of his ass.
I mean, one year they're ass, and the next year they're good. So
yeah. So hopefully, Alabama gets some more competition out in the West, and they're not running over everybody like they did this year. ACC is going to be a runaway for Clemson.
Straight up. Straight up. There's nobody competing with Clemson.
I don't know how they'll match up against Alabama again, just because of their losing to pretty much their trenches. D-line, O-line, cornerback. Obviously, they have probably the best quarterback in the nation. And some damn good receivers. So they'll be good. Alabama will be good. Georgia will be good. Hopefully Florida beats Georgia. All I know is that Florida is going to be the king of Florida. They're going to beat the brakes off Miami and Florida State. And we're just going to be pulling the recruits next year.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if Florida gets in. If Florida beats Georgia, sheesh.
The only way Florida gets in the college football playoffs from not winning the SEC is if they go undefeated beforehand. Which is possible. They got to beat Auburn, though.
At home? Yeah, but Auburn.
Yeah, I don't know who their quarterback is.
Auburn's quarterback is... No idea. It's a redshirt freshman, I believe.
Because he just left. Oh, yeah, the redshirt freshman from Jacksonville.
Who's that?
I forgot his name, but I think he's from Jacksonville.
Oh, well, whatever redshirt freshman it is, that's who's the quarterback over there. They definitely signed a pretty good class there. I think they're 11th. Well, they were 11th until Charles Cross left. They're still 11th. They signed some pretty good players. They signed...
They said Charles Cross.
Charles Moore, my bad. They signed a dual quarterback, 5-star dual quarterback, Bo Nix, Charles Moore, and Owen Popo, which is a 5-star outside linebacker. I mean, they have a pretty decent class. It's just to see if Gus Malzahn can do whatever he can. I mean,
right.
One year they're good, and the next year they don't do anything. That's just the Auburn way.
Yeah. Definitely going to be interesting how that pans out. Oklahoma's going to be in there, probably looking in with Jalen Hurts if he can, do good.
Ohio State's definitely going to be there.
Well, it depends how good
Justin Fields is. I feel like he's just going to ball out.
That'd be nice. I mean, Michigan has a chance to be back in there again just because they're pretty much returning their quarterback, receivers. I know they're losing some running backs and some D linemen, but...
They could be in there, but at the end of the day, they can't get past Ohio State, and if you can't do that, you're not going anywhere.
Correct.
And they got absolutely destroyed
last 2 games of the season.
Last 2 games of the season, especially with Ohio State. I think the score was like 65-29. You're not gonna go do anything, and supposedly that was the number 1 defense in the nation, and you allow 65 points to your rivals. I mean, come on now. But I'm just glad that, first of all, I'm glad with 2018 that we were able to get Mullen. We got Mullen, and we were able to recruit very well. We were able to win 10 games, go to a bowl game finally, and we got production out of Felipe Franks. And if you know Felipe Franks in 2017 is a completely different person from 2018. He is looking like he's going to be our starter next year as well, but we don't know because Emory Jones also has developed pretty nicely. Every ball that he threw when he ever got in, it was right on the money. It's just a
damn money ball if I've ever seen one. Every time.
Every single time. He can run the ball. He understands the offense. Can't forget about Jalen Jones. We just picked him up this year. Supposedly he's a very good kid, humble, easy learner, and he definitely can throw the ball as well. So we'll see with Florida. With Florida State, I mean, I don't know. We already talked about Florida State. I think Miami is going to be... I think by the end of the season, Miami will be ranked.
It could. It depends who their quarterback is.
Who do they have? It's Tate Martell and who?
Tate Martell can't play. It's going to be Jerry...
Unless he graduates.
Yeah. Jerry Williams, I think his name is.
Or Nkosi.
I don't know about Nkosi. I mean, he might be there, but honestly, I don't know. I've heard, pretty much he's out of the picture, really.
Really?
From what I've seen from Miami fans. He's there, but, I thought he was possibly not going to be there in terms of some other shit going on personality-wise. So, I don't know. I have no idea about them boys. Not worried. 40 burgers.
Not worried about them. Also, just... an announcement from CollegeFootballLive podcast. We are going to, since we live in Gainesville, we're definitely going to be going to the Florida spring game, but we're also going to be trying to go to the Florida State spring game. We're also going to go to the Miami spring game because it's going to be in Orlando most likely. If that happens, we're going to try to go there. If we have fans either in Tallahassee or in Orlando or any Miami fans or Gator fans, just hit us up. We're going to be taking pictures of the stadiums and everything just to be posting it on Instagram. Follow us on everything. But yeah, just an announcement for you guys. Definitely try to go out there. We're going to see what Florida State is going to be building. Apparently they have a concert after as well. Last year was Vanilla Ice. Who the hell are they going to bring this time? Probably Ice Cube or something.
Nah, Plies.
Oh my God. Let's touch on that topic. Now, see, that's a good transition right there. Plies is a rapper from Tampa, Florida, right? He lives in Tampa, and he is... I thought that he was a USF fan.
He's a Willie Taggart fan.
But now he's a Willie Taggart fan. And he says that because no black coaches have won a national championship ever in the history as a head coach, that as a black man, he needs to support Willie Taggart.
Nah, bro, he's using that as a mask. He's a Willie Taggart fan, but he's using the race thing as a mask to get people behind Willie Taggart. But listen, that's just bullshit. Black people don't see that shit, man. If you're a Gator fan, it's fuck Florida State. And every day it's fuck Florida State. I don't care if he's black, white, yellow, orange. So, yeah, it'd be cool if, an African-American coach. I'm all for Shaw winning that shit, or Loxley. But fuck, Willie Taggart can go... I'm all for Willie Taggart winning that shit, just not at Florida State. That's how I feel. It's not that I don't like him because he's black. I just don't like him because he's at Florida State. I hated Jimbo Fisher, and I hated Bobby Bowden with the passion. I think I hate them more than I hate Willie Taggart because they were actually good. So I'm glad Willie's there. Keep losing, bro.
So I think it was stupid.
He was just using that shit to get people to rally around him, bro. That's just like I said. And then Florida State's looking real desperate right now.
And then he threw 3 random names out there. He said Charlie Strong. He's not vibing with Charlie Strong like that. When have you ever seen a video of him going to USF and vibing with all the players and vibing with all of them? Never. He said something about.
He only vibed with them when Willie Taggart was there.
Exactly. He said something about Herm Edwards in Arizona State. Have you seen him go into Arizona State? No. And he said something about the guy from Syracuse as well.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really. I mean, like I said, it's just really annoying to see that.
Yeah, bro. Florida State did some dumb shit with the MLK. They did a do something pose with MLK throwing, with the Nike glove on, the Seminole glove. Shit got deleted because they realized how stupid it was. The craziest part about it was a black person who did it. Their social media account, and they didn't realize how stupid that looked. So again, and that just speaks to the intellectuals of Florida State and just stupid stuff, man. Desperate move, and making them look stupid.
Yeah, that I don't even have to say anything about that. It was just sad. But other than that, we're gonna close this episode up. Like I said, we are gonna be all back next week. Definitely because Orlando has a little bit more availability. Josh maybe could make it in. Mark was supposed to be. Our friend Mark is a huge Miami fan. Was supposed to make it in today, but something came up. So we're gonna get a lot of people in here. We're gonna be talking about different topics, focus on different teams every week as well. But definitely remember that around April we're gonna be trying to follow the spring games. But follow us on Instagram, CollegeFBlive. Find us on Twitter, and we also have made a Facebook page. So definitely hit us up there. We're gonna be uploading everything, everywhere. And we are gonna be trying to record we're trying to go to dropping the episodes every Monday just because it works a little bit better for everybody. That way we can record in the maybe in the weekend or like a Friday night or something like that, and then dropping it on Monday. So just keep an eye. This one's gonna continue with the same one, but Mondays is gonna be the new day. But other than that, peace out.
Peace.